Hello everybody, just a quick training on the ATR model. This is a model that took us 13 months to build, and I just want to explain what it's about. There's some confusion that comes with it because it's really easy to use, but also can be quite complex, and has a lot of bells and whistles, and I'm going to walk through them all first, and I'm going to share it with you as well. So let's talk about what it is first, then we'll look at some charts, and then we'll come back to some tools you can use as well. And as we get more and more of these tools out, and a big thank you to the development team behind me who make all of these crazy visions possible, we just want to put this power into the community's hands. Okay, so that's the whole plan. Let's go, and I'm going to go through a few slides. So first of all, this is the ATR model. It was originally designed, the original vision was to help identify dead cryptos and how to layer out. And then it got really complicated. We started baking more functionality into it. So let's explain what it is. It is out of beta. We are now on version 1.1. And there are 4 model settings. ATR for me stands for Augmented Trading Range. Everything happens in a range in markets in any asset, but this helps you identify those ranges. So you can see, first of all, there are transparency and color settings. I'll talk about the clouds and trends as well in a minute and how important they are. There are ATR levels. Do you want to see them? The 6 of them. You can turn them on or off if you like them. I recommend you should always have them on. I also recommend dark screen mode in your trading view. Just search how to do it. It's a very simple little button on top left corner. Also, signal logic is trend and deviation. I'll go in detail into exactly what that means. And then noise suppression if you feel like you're getting too many signals. So first of all, the 2 most important signals are this signal logic, and it's a toggle button. You can flick it between trend and deviation. It works for different assets. Again, it is a power tool that's been made really, really simple, and that's why it took so long to build. Now let's look at these models, what they look like. So first of all, the trend is a different type of trend model. It is not the same. It's very important. A lot of people think, oh, is this the same as IDSS or my other trend models or whatever else? No, it is different. It's built for a different purpose on a different time frame for people that can't be in the markets all the time. So what we have here is a helix. Blue is good, orange is bad. Now, when you see the buy and sell signals, they're driven by when the helix flips from orange to blue. Okay, that becomes a buy signal. From blue to orange becomes a sell signal. And the trend will help you keep in the trade like before. If the trend is going up and you get a sell signal, it's still going up, still blue, you ignore the sell signal. You wait for it to turn and get the second one. Now, the other toggle is not trend. It's what we call deviation. This is like the mean reversion model we have. When you go up a certain amount of deviation from the mean, you get a buy signal, which means it's oversold on a certain term. And opposite true, overbought, you get a sell signal. And you can see here, sometimes there are many signals, but again, the trend will keep you in the trade. Blue going up, you see 3 sell signals. Hold until the trend reverts to orange. And it's that simple. Now, let's kind of zoom in on what that means right now with a chart, because it is a little bit tricky. Let's blow this up for a second. And here you can see what we're talking about. This is Bitcoin. We are on the daily time frame. First of all, the most important thing here is the backtest, ATR BT. That stands for backtest. It's critical and it's valuable. Backtest is money. You'll hear me say that time and time again. You could just play this on the daily. You buy, you sell, you buy, you sell, you buy, you sell, you buy, you sell, and you sell again, depending on how things are. Now, toggling this are all the settings here. You can change the colors to whatever you want. But look, this is trend. Let's zoom in so you can see it actually flip live. You know what I'm talking about. Let's go to one of these here. And in fact, it nailed the recent sell on Bitcoin as it tanks. It's embarrassing how good this stuff is sometimes. So here we are. we are now zoomed in so you can see how it toggles. We are on the trend model, like we just discussed, how it converts when the color changes. If we watch the back test here, the ATR back test is a noise suppression medium. If you toggle this, it'll change the results. If it changes to high, you only win 43% of the time. If you change it to low, you win 64% of the time. If you change it to none, you win 77% of the time. Not bad. But if you change to medium, you win 100% of the time. And that's what's key. Now, if we flip this to deviation, not trend, watch the chart change. This is when we go way outside the cloud. This is a buy. Okay? This is a buy. This is a sell. And for some assets, the deviation works better, particularly for things like foreign exchange, commodities. For crypto and disruptive stocks, trend works better. But I'll show you a couple of tricks in a minute too as how you can test this en masse. And again, you can toggle these to deviation high, 60% win rate, deviation low, 75% win rate, deviation none. Or sorry, noise suppression none, 74%. So it all depends. And that's kind of how it works. Again, it is a power tool that is literally very, very powerful when you get the hang of it. So let's go back here to, hang on. I gotta minimize this so I can see myself. All right. Let's go back. So that's kind of the two different signals. Now, there's a couple of things that I will tell you. Who is it for? It's designed for people. And in fact, the inspiration for this was based on Sanjay, who is busy all day and only can take small breaks. He has other things going on. So for people who cannot watch the markets all day, or can jump in once in the evening or once at lunch or whatever, or once at the weekend, this is what it's for. They use it to identify, the model is for identifying tops, bottoms, dead assets, support and resistance layers, stop losses, exit profit taking layers, and the red background signifies a bull market. Let me pull up the screen again and I'll show you what I mean. Let's turn this on full. I'll blow this up and we'll go back to the history of Bitcoin here. So this is kind of the bottom floor. Now, another thing that causes a lot of confusion is the anchor points, or where we position the actual asset, the actual tools. I like to put it at an all-time high or go back at least a year to a year and a half. And that is kind of my focus level for ranges. And you can see it goes all the way up to the top, level 6, and the bottom. Sometimes it doesn't hit the bottom, but we are at level 1. That was kind of the kill zone. It's 6,000. Then level 2 was at 26,005. Level 3, 35,000. Now, sometimes these correspond very closely with the Lilo model, which actually worked as a demon for NVIDIA today, as you saw in my post this morning on Patreon. But again, it's different. The whole math and the modeling behind this is very different to all our other models. So bear that in mind. But here, the red is also the bear market, and it automatically comes up for different assets. So that is where you are. Now let's go back and toggle this back to what it should be for Bitcoin trend and medium. Boom. Noise. And there you see the sell signal, which coincidentally it nailed very well. Also, your backtest settings can be configured based on exactly how much you have. If it's $100,000 dedicated to Bitcoin, I like to get in layers, so you can determine how much of your entry you want to put in, what your costs are, your exit basis, etc. That's all the same as all of our other models as well. This is not designed to be a replacement for the other models. Very important. This is designed to be a different model. Let me make sure I'm popping this. You can see me. This is designed for those people that can only look at the market not all the time, and it's optimized for the daily time frame. But it does work on a few other time frames too. Let's talk about some of those too. There's also one other thing I forgot to mention. It has a lot of stuff, a lot of logic is built into it. So if it doesn't fire initially, or you don't see your layers, it could be because the asset is new. So let's go to some of the new assets like SUI or Aptos or one of these guys. Hang on a second, pull it up here. Sometimes if there's not a lot of history, you won't get your layers. Unless, of course, you drag the anchor to where it needs to be. So let's pop this in here, and we'll drop the anchor right at this all-time high. And it still not may get... Oh, it does. It does get layers here. And you'll see how they do work as support and resistance. Level 1 is at support level. Level 2, resistance level, where you sell, coincidentally. It's not by chance that it does this. So remember, drag it to the most recent all-time high, but try to get at least 12 to 18 months of history in there as well. Oh, forgot to share the screen on that one. So this is example. If you drop this out of the zone where there's no pricing action, you're not going to get a result. So if we move this to, say, 2021, you'll see no layers. So you got to drag it to a recent all-time high is what I like. And then you get your layers. It's got to calculate behind the scenes. And if it doesn't calculate, you got to reload it and fire it up again. And I got to do that all over again because it takes me back to where I was, Aptos. All right, pull this in. You'll see no layers. And here, jump in, pick the time, move it to 2022. Drag the anchor point to the all-time high, and that's it. People get confused by this anchor thing. Same with layer out model. I don't know why, but that's where you do have to move it. The system cannot do everything for you automatically. Very important as well. Now let's go back and look at some other details too. Here, again, remember, the backtest. The backtest is money, as I say, and it's not the same as other models. Very important. Now, back to backtesting. What we do have is this thing. This is the testing sheet that it's kind of a quick and dirty version, but we did test this over hundreds of assets, thousands and thousands of times. That's why it took so long to build. And we have this thing called the crowdsourcing testing sheet. So this is on FIFO. Here you have all of the different signal logic, the noise suppression, etc., FIFO, and all the different assets over time, and you can see the results, and you can sort by the results. This is the summary sheet of all of those different assets, and typically the best is here, and that is no noise signal and trend, but that changes based on the type of settings you have. This is from JDog, who built this beautiful sheet here and talks about all of the different things. In fact, sometimes he uses Heikin-Ashi candles on the model. You'll see how that changes. Let's go back here to Bitcoin, and I'll show you what that means. Pull up Bitcoin here and turn this. Oh, I forgot to share again. Hang on. Yeah, let's pop this in here. And you can see if we turn off all this noise, we drop the anchor to where we need it. You can click on this. So there's a quick way of finding it. Oh, I see it there. There it is. And take it back to the all-time high. Look at the backtest, 100%. If we change the actual type of line, I prefer line. I used to use Heikin-Ashi in the past, but remember, Heikin-Ashi is a completely different way of measurement. If we click on this, the results are still the same. That's good. Sometimes they change, but sometimes you get different signals. But here you can see Heikin-Ashi doesn't give you as accurate a sell signal as you do here on the line. Far more precise. That's why I like preciseness of the line here. Anyway, that is, let's go back to this and share the sheets. And here you see all the different assets, whether they are stocks, ETFs, like energy, etc. You can see all the different settings, the ROI, the win percentage, the number of buy orders, the balance, the profitability. Again, when you want to get deep on this, you can go way down the rabbit hole and it can be very, very impressive. All right, let's pull this up again. Hang on a second. I have to turn this on. hope I'm, yeah, sharing the cheat sheet. All right, that is JDog's cheat sheet as well. And one other thing that's kind of fascinating by this is analyzing this cheat sheet. You'll see a couple of things here. One is the anchor point, again, as I mentioned. Start with dropping it at an all-time high or back at least 12 to 18 months. Find the range, the trading range that you want to identify tops and bottoms in. Real simple. Time frame, optimized for the daily but works in the weekly. 3-day, 2-day, 12-hour, 8-hour, 4-hour. To customize, configure your charts, you do need not the free version of TradingView. But if you are taking this stuff seriously, don't go with the free version of TradingView. You need to configure alerts and all that type of stuff. Very, very important. Heikin-Ashi works, for example, on JDog's sheet, and inversion appears to be the most successful logic. But again, it all depends on what you're looking at and how you're looking at it and what type of indicator you're looking at too. Average win rate for inversion is 91%. Average win rate for deviation is 79%. In addition to augmented trading range pro tips number 2, average win rate for all symbols, the highest in the 12-hour time frame at 87%, despite the fact it's optimized for the daily, and the average win rate for all symbols is lowest on the 2-hour time frame at 81%. And remember, everybody, I stress this time and time again, find your own rhythm. Very important. Okay, this is a tool to help you do exactly that. So, hope this helps. Make sure you refresh to make sure you're on the latest. Pull down your settings. All you do, quick tip, I'll show you one last quick tip here. Yeah, to make sure you have the most recent version. Oh, I forgot to mention too, user guide, how the ATR works. Go here in the user guide and read about it and use it. It'll explain all the different models, backtesting, etc. But this video has much more detail than that actual model itself. And to make sure you have the latest version, all you do is kill this, refresh your browser, reload it. Okay, go to your indicators, invite only scripts, and you go to ADR model. Boom. And it's added back. I got 2 of them here now. Make sure it's version 1.1, and then you configure it, okay, to however you like. Very, very important. I'm going to have to redrop the anchor again because it's off. And the results will change if the anchor changes because you're analyzing time, okay, and data. Wherever you drop the anchor determines the time and data. Therefore, I like to capture the whole range, take it at an all-time high, and follow it down. And turn off all my noise here as well. Final thing I will share real quick. I'll send this out. This is kind of the cheat sheet for all the different models. We have Arb Cloud, which is to trade between Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. Confluence, which is buy and sell signals, part of IADSS. DCAS model is how to beat DCA for those who want to build a position. And the DCAS calculator, that's part of the model. Macro benchmark model and macro modeler for trading oil versus oil stocks, or you name it, whatever, commodity versus a commodity stock as well. Mean reversion, that is a key tool part of IADSS with the backtest. Optimized trend, that is probably one of the biggest breakthroughs I've had in my life. Bitcoin top and bottom for trading, model for Bitcoin, identifying bottoms and tops. Getting out trend is the trend model with backtest, part of IADSS. All of this, by the way, is part of the suite. If you buy the suite, you get everything, and layer in, layer out, designed for buying in layers and selling in layers. Pair trading on steroids. Separate tool comes with, by the way, the optimized trend, this one, and ATR model. Trading tool identifies dead assets, etc. So that was a lot. Anyway, just want to give you a quick update of where things are and the models we have. Don't forget, find your own rhythm. This is it started off as a simple tool, and we started baking more and more power features into it as we were discovering magic in it. So check it out. Remember, check the backtests. It has a lot in it, but it's actually, we made the most complex stuff really easy to use. So let me know what you think, everybody, and if there are still any questions. And thank you all for coming. Bye.